So we're pleased to have Dr. Aditi Govitrikar, the only Indian supermodel, actor, former Mrs. World, medical doctor, Harvard-trained psychologist, corporate coach. So all defined in one. After redefining beauty, elegance, and grace for an entire generation of Indians as the gladiator supermodel and India's first Mrs. World, Aditi went on to act in many Bollywood films and TV shows. Some of her numerous awards include the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Award for National Personality of the Year, the Maharashtra Ratna Award, and PETA's Humanitarian Award. No one to rest on her laurels, Aditi recently earned 2 master's degrees in psychology, including one from Harvard University. And again, here Dr. Gedam also got a degree from Harvard University, and now Aditi has a degree also from Harvard. But from where she has just come back to transform, empower, and elevate each of us to maximize the potential. Since then, Aditi has been corporate coaching, including Aditya Birla Group, SR, Citibank, Swift. Also, she has done a lot of coaching for the military personnel, police personnel, and she is now on a mission to make the positive and powerful impact on married women. With that goal in mind, she recently launched a beauty pageant called Marvelous Mrs. India. And she just came from preparation for that event in Udaipur. So give a big round of applause for Dr. Aditi Govitrikar.
My journey has been very interesting. Again, I'm the third doctor as a speaker here who's not clinically practicing. However, I do practice wellness. So one of the reasons why I made you all stretch right now, that is part of wellness. A human mind today can focus only for 8 seconds. And this is a very important observation because it has decreased from 12 seconds. Our attention span has reduced to lesser than a goldfish. Now, why am I saying this? Again, because I want you to pay attention to whatever little bit I'm going to share with you. A journey of an entrepreneur is a very, very difficult journey. How do I know this? You'll say you're a doctor, you're a psychologist, you're into Bollywood and modeling, etc. But I have an entrepreneurial streak in me, which I truly enjoy. That is actually the latest thing that I have ventured into. And when NEF invited me, so thank you Sanjay ji and Ajay ji for inviting me here, I know what it takes. It's very, very difficult because I feel like, you're a runner, you're a peon, you're a clerk, you're the CEO. Everything is dependent on you. And because I'm not done MBA, that is on my list. But everybody tells me take a break because like my friends say that you have a soup. Alphabet ka soup hai aapke naam ke piche. Because MBBS to 2 degrees in psychology, post-graduation in counseling, plus many, many, many small courses in psychology. Plus I have done 10-day Vipassana retreats, if you all know what Vipassana is about. So abhi thoda break diya hai education ko, but yes, I'll definitely, one of the things that is there on my list is integrative medicine and MBA. So coming back to entrepreneur's journey, what I realized was that, why are we as a nation not up there? We have all the resources. We have amazing population, if I may say so. Take sunshine or weather. And take anything, we have it all. Yet we are not out there. Not to forget the jugadu-ness in us. And I'll give you a small example. Azim, who's with me for last 14 years. Azim, can you stand for a minute? So he's been with me for 14 years. And ek jugadupan inhone jo dikhaya us din, because we had a connecting flight and it was really crowded. As you're aware, I don't know why, but everybody is traveling everywhere, irrespective of time and place. And we had a connecting flight and we were going to miss it. Suddenly, Azim starts feeling dizzy. I said, Azim, are you okay? He's like, yeah, take me to the gate. And I still had not realized what was happening. Of course, we were taken to the gate and we were sent quickly. Then he started laughing. He said, see, We didn't miss the flight. So this is the jugaduness which is in our DNA. Am I right? All Indians, right? We all have it. So what is it that is missing? What is it that is lacking in us that we are not a nation which is at the forefront of innovation? And I think where we lack is the co-creation and collaboration. These are the two words that come to my mind when I think that, okay, if I am going forward, if I take people along with me, जैसे मैम ने कहा था कि टीम क्रिएट करना बहुत ज़रूरी है और टीम क्रिएट करके उनको भी उतना ही प्रोग्रेस कराना. मेक योर पाई बिगर. अपने लिए केक बना रहे हो, उसमें वो बड़ा बनाओ तो सबको उतना ही आप हिस्सा दे सकते हो. So that's my thought process. But again, I don't want to know what the net worth of this hall is over here. No, I'm not from tax background, so I will not get there. But I know that all of you here are highly accomplished, and it is truly humbling for me to stand here and humbly share my thoughts, because really, I mean, everybody over here is up there, out there. So let's make sure that this is a 12th session, right, that NEF has organized, that when it is 13th, let our nation also move higher. So let's think global. And that is my endeavor when I started Marvelous Mrs. India. I'm on my season 2, which is happening on the 13th. It's 4 days away, and I'm definitely spending sleepless nights because, to make it a success is something that I like giving 100% to. And to do that, of course, it needs a lot of organization and planning. But I came here because I knew that there is a lot to learn. And being a lifelong learner, I'm हावरट. खरं सांगायचं तर मला खूप आवडतं शिकायला आणि learning from people who have the real life experience. See, because learning from books I can do on my own. ते मी माझ्या रूममध्ये बसून I choose a book and I read it. But to actually, like ma'am said, on ground, right, foot on ground, that kind of experience or that kind of conversation is something that मिळत नाही. त्याचा अभाव आहे. The forums like these definitely provide that kind of thought processes. It gives you that food for thought when you go home. And truly, the soul feels very happy when you learn. Yeah. So it's very important for us to realize that what is the takeaway from this session? Time is precious, right? Time is the only resource which you cannot buy. You cannot get it back. Everything else will work out. So use your time wisely. So for me, it's very important that how am I using my time to enrich myself? Because at the end of the day, jaan hai to jahan hai. If I look after myself, and by myself, not only physically, but mentally. And that's one thing which I always share with people is that don't stop learning. A lot of people used to make fun of me when I started my college education again, कि अभी ये age में क्या, what are you enrolling for and all, what are you trying to prove? And I'm like, look, where is it written? Where is the blueprint that was I born with? That हाँ ये age में education खत्म होना चाहिए और उसके बाद कुछ नहीं सीखना है मुझे. So I'm not saying everybody needs to enroll into college and get degrees or anything like that, but learn a new language. Do something which is different. We all have a routine, right? We all have a certain pathway that we follow. But in that, how can you enrich your mind? Start looking after your mental wellness, mental being, your brain. Remember that screen addiction is real. Like right now also I can see many, many faces bend down because they are on their phones. The dopamine hit that you get because of scrolling on the screen or being on the screen. And please don't give me that excuse that it's an important email or important message. Be in the moment. Phone is there. Phone is not going to run anywhere. When I go for Vipassana first 3 days, असं ते चुकचुकल्यासारखं होतं की मी काहीतरी विसरले रूममध्ये. Nothing. It's the phone. It's become an extension of my arm. And that's a sad state. Today, a lot of mothers, when I interact with me, they very proudly say that my 1-year-old can swipe on iPad. And I'm like, please don't be proud of it. It's not a good thing. You're blunting the neurons of that child. And whether we accept it or not, depression is an epidemic. And I'm sure over here we have a lot of people who work in the health department. The number of suicide cases have increased. The number of panic attacks, anxiety, and I'm not only talking about during COVID, but even today, the number of cases I see in my counseling practice, it's unbelievable. Just last month, I know of 3 people who committed suicide for no apparent reason. So life is precious, right? Life is beautiful. So why is this happening? So that is something that we definitely need to think about. And then, like I said, that the nation needs to be out there. So let's keep that as a goalpost. Let's keep that as a vision. And then create step towards going there. But it begins with you. What are you doing? What is it that you can do for yourself? How many over here can touch your toes without bending your knees? Perfect. Next time I want to see all the hands going up, because there were very few, right? So it's very, very crucial to look after your physical health as well as mental. This is a temple that God or the higher consciousness has given us, right? So temple में कचरा मत डालो. मुझे समोसा बहुत पसंद है, लेकिन मैं रोज नहीं खाती. कभी कभार ठीक है. But what are you putting in that body of yours? Because you are what you think and you are what you eat. So think positive. And like ma'am said that there are no problems, there are only solutions. So जब problem आता है आपके सामने, obstacles तो सबके life में होते हैं, उतार चढ़ाव तो सबके life में होते हैं. But at that time, if you think about the problem, then your thinking is problem oriented. Instead of that, if you can wear a solution oriented hat, and I do these kind of activities or I share these kind of solutions to say that imagine a hat, you're wearing a solution oriented hat. What is the solution out of whatever it is that you're facing? Now, a lot of people say, if my husband does this, then my life will be better. Or if my wife stops nagging, then the life will be better, right? But remember that you can't change the other. What can you do? छोड़ना नहीं है. Solution oriented बोल रही हूँ मैं, हाँ. So don't take me in the wrong this thing. So always think of a solution and what you can do. Now there are certain things which we can't change. Today if I want to insist that no, it has to rain when I'm driving back to Mumbai, वो होने वाला नहीं है. So I also have to have the courage or the wisdom to accept what I can't change. And if I can change something, then take action. Because without action, there's nothing. So HBR, it's a book that I'm reading. Hustle, believe, receive. Okay? So these are the 3 things which are very, very interesting. You have to have the self-belief. All the parents over here, you know, the biggest gift that you can give your child is confidence, self-belief. That child then can handle anything that comes in his or her way. Yeah? Where entrepreneurship is concerned, since this is a forum that is for entrepreneurship, and I know I'm sure everybody must be hungry, so I'm not going to talk for too long, but this kind of forum, hats off, it's amazing. All I will say is, please look after yourself and let's take the nation up there. Yeah? Thank you very much for your attention.
Mrs. World, supermodel, एजुकेशन, सो मेनी थिंग्स. हाउ डू यू हैंडल? अब हमसे एक चीज़ हैंडल नहीं होती है लाइफ की, आप इतनी सारी चीज़ें, हाउ डिड यू हैंडल दिस? ओ डॉक्टर मधुरी कनेक्टर को छोड़ दो, इज एक्सेप्शन. हम उनकी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम हमारी बात कर रहे हैं. तो ये सब कैसे हैंडल किया आपने लाइफ में, एंड देन चेंजेस इन द करियर?
थैंक यू सो मच. लेकिन संजय जी, ऐसा है कि मैंने आपसे कभी भी बात की तब आप जर्मनी में हो, टोक्यो में हो, आप कैसे करते हो ये सब, एंड देन सक्सेसफुली ऑर्गेनाइजिंग अ फोरम लाइक दिस. तो राज तो आपको बताना चाहिए, मुझे नहीं. बट सिंस यू आर आस्किंग मी द क्वेश्चन, आई एम इन द हॉट सीट. आई थिंक इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट time management and creating a team. Basically it's that, it's all about that, and it's of course the motivation, the inspiration to do something, because I really believe that we and being from the spiritual background, because like I said that I do Vipassana, I do believe that human life jo mili hai ye gift hai. So if it is a gift, then I have to make good use of it. So how can I make good use of it? Like for example in COVID, जब कोई भी event नहीं हो रहा था, acting बंद था, कुछ भी नहीं था, at that time again I wore my solution oriented hat And then I started working for the transgender community. उनके साथ काम किया because that community is very very vulnerable. Right? तो WPATH करके एक organization है which is the WHO counterpart for transgender community. तो I did a course with them simultaneously to get to know them better. And जो किन्नर community है उनके साथ काम किया. So any event that comes in my life, I always ask myself, what can I do that will take me to the next level? तो failures तो सबके life में आते हैं, and I do believe that failure is a much bigger teacher than success.
Wow, well said. A round of applause for Aditi. और आप ऐसा ही साइलेंस बना के रखिए क्योंकि 2-4 क्वेश्चन करूंगा जिससे हम कोई बात सीख सकते हैं अदिति जी से. दैट विल हेल्प अस इन आवर लाइफ. तो दूसरा क्वेश्चन था, आफ्टर MBBS आई थिंक यू स्टार्टेड योर मूवी करियर, इज दैट करेक्ट?
Well, I started doing MD Gynac, but उसमें I must have delivered. I mean, not me, but I helped deliver 800 babies in because I was posted in JJ Hospital, Grand Medical College.
Wow.
तो वहाँ पे around 8 months में उतने बच्चे तो हो गए थे. So I had started doing MD Gynac when this happened to me.
So how did this happen? Moving into the acting, modeling, was it a coincidence? You met somebody, or somebody saw you said, "Hey, you look too good, let's come join the acting." How did all that happen? This is for the audience, they want to know. What is it that
Nation
took you
wants
to
to
get there?
know.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it happened by chance. The thing is that I like challenges. तो मैंने खतरों के खिलाड़ी भी किया है, बिग बॉस भी किया है. हालांकि I don't like controversy. I do believe that although I am in public eye, that my private life will be private. I'm not one of those who like to post my children's pictures और मेरे घर के photographs आप hardly देखोगे, because I believe that. लेकिन तब when I was still studying to be a doctor, one of my friends was an amateur photographer और उसने कहा अरे your body language is very nice, let's take some pictures. So photographs लिए उन्होंने फिर ग्लैड्रैक सुपरमॉडल कॉन्टेस्ट में भेज दिए. And I got a call. I said चलो 4 दिन का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, कर लेती हूँ, सीखने को मिलेगा. Again, my thing was because I am an introvert, तो it's always good to learn something, right? तो इसलिए मैंने पार्टिसिपेट किया और उसके बाद कंटिन्यूसली एड्स आते रहे. सो आई डिड पॉन्ड्स फेस वॉश, रेक्सोना डिओड्रेंट, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. और तभी थोड़ा सा मज़ा भी आने लगा बिकॉज आई लव ट्रैवलिंग. सो ट्रैवल करने को भी मिला उसके वजह से. सो इट वॉज वन ऑफ दोज. एंड देन आई स्पोक टू डॉक्टर डावर हु वॉज माई HOD फॉर द गायनाक, एंड शी सेड लुक, नॉट मेनी डॉक्टर्स गेट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ गोइंग ऑन अ ग्लोबल लेवल टू रिप्रेजेंट द कंट्री. सो वाई डोंट यू डू इट एंड कम बैक in 1 year's time? Your seat will be there. So I said, ठीक है, but now I'm still here.
Wow, amazing journey. और एक ताली हो जाए अदिति जी के लिए, क्योंकि
अपने आप भी तालियां बजाओगे तो चलेगा. Every time he doesn't have to prompt.
हाँ, that is true. But देखो, डॉक्टर भी, सुपर मॉडल भी, एजुकेशनिस्ट भी, ऐसा संगम बहुत कम होता है और कंबाइन विद द ब्यूटी. सो मुझे एक आपसे पूछना था, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट. आपने देखा क्या लोग कंटिन्यूसली एज अ हैबिट फ़ोन यूज़ करते रहते हैं, स्क्रीन स्क्रॉल करते रहते हैं, डे एंड नाइट, टाइम एंड अगेन. ऑल्सो इट्स पार्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रेस. सो व्हाट इज़ योर वर्क नाउ ऑन द स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट? जो स्ट्रेस होता है, और हाउ डू यू हैंडल इट योर सेल्फ व्हेन इट कम्स, बट हाउ डू यू हेल्प द पीपल विद द स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट?
राइट. तो ऐसी बात है कि स्ट्रेस इज़ एन इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ. स्ट्रेस तो सबके लाइफ में है, इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ who you are, where you are at it. Because we feel that, oh, इसके लाइफ में कुछ स्ट्रेस नहीं होगा, but ऐसे नहीं है, right? So that is part of life. Now, if it is part of life, how are we going to handle it? How are we going to manage it? So that is where it all comes from. That stress management becomes an integral part and a conscious effort towards looking at stress in your life. कि आपके स्ट्रेसर्स क्या है. स्ट्रेसर्स मतलब जो आपको स्ट्रेस देते हैं. बीवी बच्चे इन लॉज को छोड़ दो, वी विल नॉट कॉल देम स्ट्रेसर्स, ओके. बट लाइफ में आई एम टॉकिंग जनरली कि इज देयर एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, इज देयर अ पॉइंट दैट इज कॉजिंग यू लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेस. सो देयर इज एक्यूट स्ट्रेस एंड क्रॉनिक स्ट्रेस. ये आइडेंटिफाई करना ज़रूरी है. उनके बारे में आप क्या कर सकते हो. तो देयर इज ऑफकोर्स इट्स टू शॉर्ट अ टाइम फॉर मी टू, बिकॉज आई हैव डन, सो आई डिड 50 stress management workshops with Mumbai police. Because they are again one community which goes through a lot of stress, and it's a 3
हमारे पंसलकर सर थे.
हाँ,
हमारे CP सर थे, पंसलकर सर.
Datta Padsalgekar was there, commissioner. So that's a 3-hour conversation. But so recognize what your stressors are. Some stressors are good for you. लिटिल बिट ऑफ प्रेशर इज इम्पॉर्टेंट टू ऑप्टिमली परफॉर्म. तो आपको जो रिजल्ट चाहिए उसके लिए स्ट्रेस तो थोड़ा ज़रूरी है, जैसे एग्जाम स्ट्रेस हो या फिर रीलोकेटिंग या शादी हो रही है, तभी जो स्ट्रेस होता है उसको यूज स्ट्रेस कहा जाता है. डिस्ट्रेस है, दैट इज समथिंग दैट डेफिनेटली नीड्स टू बी वर्कड ऑन. और क्रॉनिक होगा, जैसे इफ़ यू आर अ केयर गिवर टू अ पेशेंट एट होम, तो वो क्रॉनिक स्ट्रेस हो जाता है. तो केयर गिवर का जो रोल है, अगर वो आप कर रहे हो तो वो स्ट्रेस अलग है. अगर बिजनेस का कोई स्ट्रेस है, जैसे लोन लिया है एंड यू नो दोज काइंड, सो दैट डेफिनेटली नीड्स टू वर्क ऑन, एंड देयर आर स्टेप्स to that one can incorporate, but consistency is the key. Every single day you have to look at yourself, because as again you are aware that heart attack has increased. We hear of people just dropping dead, and that's very very again distressing. So please look after yourself.
Absolutely. So, or especially Aditi ji working with the Mumbai police, and she has done 15 sessions, so quite achievement. एक आपको पूछना था, अभी आप मैरिड वुमेन के लिए आपने इनिशिएटिव चालू किया है, और आप मराठी या हिंदी में ही बोलिए, तो इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है, एंड आई ट्रैवल अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, आई लिव्ड इन मेनी कंट्रीज, थोड़ा मुझे लगता है पर्सनली, एंड आई एम ऑल्सो पार्टली रिस्पॉन्सिबल, क्या हम यहाँ पे इंडिया में, एंड यू करेक्ट मी, एंड ताई यू करेक्ट मी, we are not paying as much attention to whether our spouses or sisters or mothers who are married as much as we should, as I compare it with the rest of the world. तो आपका इनिशिएटिव क्या है, और आप क्या सजेशन देना चाहेंगे हमको, ताकि हम हमारी लाइफ, हमारी स्पाउसेस की लाइफ और सुधार सकता है?
So I started Marvelous Mrs. India, like I said, the 13th October is season 2. The reason why I started this is because what I am seeing today with the social media putting a lot of pressure on women where beauty is concerned. So be it ageism, be it your body shaming, that oh okay this is that. So I said कि no, let me challenge this. So the hashtag that I am using is hashtag beauty inside out. So we give equal weightage to beauty within and external beauty. So like ma'am said that you have to turn up nicely. You can't be frumpy. You can't not look after your physical self. You have to look after your external appearance also. तो ये ageism जो है कि why are so many women doing, and I'm not only talking about my field, I see homemakers, I see professionals, I see corporate workers, ladies who are using unnecessary procedures which are not needed and not required, right? Be it Botox, be it fillers, be it plastic surgery or various other modalities. Why? Because again social media से pressure है कि इस तरह दिखना चाहिए, and then I get really angry when people say oh you're so well maintained. I mean, what is well maintained? Why do we say that to a counterpart of me, like the same age model, or say John Abraham for example, he's my vintage. I don't think he ever hears this, that oh John, you're so well maintained. People will say oh he looks so hot. Excuse me, I also look hot. और कोई बोले ना बोले, खुद को मैं ये करती हूँ. So anyway, I want to do away with that. So to empower women, I have done away with height. We don't have any height criteria because typically ब्यूटी पैजेंट का क्या होता है कि एक हाइट चाहिए, ये फिगर चाहिए. वी डोंट हैव दैट. सो हाइट, वेट इज नॉट अ क्राइटेरिया, स्किन कलर इज नॉट अ क्राइटेरिया. इन एडिशन, सेपरेटेड, विडोड, divorced women can participate. Women who have not been married, who are over 35, who don't get an opportunity if they want to participate in a beauty pageant, we have a category for that as well. So it's truly empowering, and it's not only about beauty कि कैसे चलना है रैंप पे या कैसा मेकअप करना है, क्या कपड़े पहनने, but we also do holistic well-being. So Brahma Kumari Sister Shivani did a session for my participants. Gaur Gopal Das ji did a session. In addition, we had financial planner, one lady who taught about financial planning, so on and so forth. So it's just from my side, it's a small step or small empowering endeavor. So that's my entrepreneurial streak.
No, so ADF commits on the guys to जो इनिशिएटिव मैडम का, एंड Madhuri Tai will agree with me, this is an amazing initiative for married women, something that's been ignored, is been issue for us for a long time. ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात है, और NEF के मंच पर हम आपके लिए कुछ कर सकते हैं. Me along with Ajay Bora and our team will be very happy to be part of this initiative, because मैडम ने बोला, गिदाम सर ने बोला, we're the catalyst of change. Working with you all, bringing that positive in the society. So we'll be very happy. और आपके लिए आखिरी का एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा, हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए आपकी क्या एडवाइस होगी, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, नॉट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, two key things they should take it from here.
आई थिंक सबको भूख लगी है, एडवाइस सुनने का किसी का मूड है कि नहीं पता नहीं है, बट
है क्या नहीं है?
I'll just say that really enjoy life, be present, live in the present moment, because that's a present that we've been gifted. So make use of it. Every single moment is precious, वापस नहीं आएगा. So really enjoy life. That's all I'll say.
तो अदिति जी, आपके लिए मैं एक पोएम कहना चाहता हूँ, और मेरी हिंदी मेरे वाइफ की इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, तो मैं थोड़ी इंग्लिश में आपके लिए बोल देता हूँ. पोएम बहुत कम बार बोलता हूँ मैं, शादी के हर साल एक ही बार पोएम बोलता हूँ मैडम को, तो आप सुन लीजिए. गेदाम सर, आप हंसना मत मेरे पोएम पे, हाँ. सो इट्स रिलेवेंट टू अदिति जी. अ डॉक्टर, अ मॉडल, अ क्वीन सो ब्राइट, Mrs. World she won, a dazzling light. In films and shows, her talent flows. Aditi charm forever grows. Aditi charm forever grows. With a heart so kind and mind so keen, she lives her own life like a screen dream or serene dream. A beacon of strength, a symbol of might. Aditi, you are the guiding light and you are the humbling light. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
अदिति जी के पास कोई भी, ने जब बात की, जयपुर थी कल, जयपुर से बॉम्बे सवेरे 8 बजे फ्लाई की, 8 बजे सीधी नासिक आई. Nothing of that things we see with, we bring many Bollywood stars. So we are so grateful to Aditi ji for coming to Nashik and being with us and guiding us. And it just turned out today कि आज के सभी लोग डॉक्टर ही हैं. It was not the plan we had, but आज आपकी चल रही है, आज नारी शक्ति की चल रही है, हमेशा चलती रहेगी. So with that, I would invite a big round of applause for Aditi ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
And I will invite Dr. Gedam and Dr. Madhuri ji Kanitkar to give her a bouquet, and then we're also going to give her the trophy.